Okay guys, we're gonna do a quick one here. Show you real quick. That's the main wire right here, controller wire, going up to the controller up there. You can see I got plenty of wire there. I only need one extension cable for that, and that's to go down to the little speed sensor down here by the wheel. I'm gonna have to get a battery extender cable too. But the main reason for this video, of course, is the torque bar. As you can see, just putting the motor on, it's hanging down below. The wires are like that. You know, that will work, but without a torque plate, this thing it's going to go like this when I'm using it, and it's going to go up. And I've had a couple people say, well, Mac, what's the big difference if the thing goes up or not? Well, there's a reason for this. See these two holes right here? This is where your bottle holder goes, and I want to be able to use that not just as a bottle holder, but as an accessory mount. If I decide I want to start riding at night and I want to put a light up there up front, you know, to light the path, the bike path in front of me, I want to be able to use that. So I need a torque bracket that's going to hold this motor in this position right here, so it's, you know, out front. They do have one. It goes over here. It looks something, I made this paper one here to give you an idea. Looks kind of like this, and it's going to come over here, but then there's no holes right here. So how do you keep it in place? Well, you end up using you end up having to use a hose clamp for it. It's probably what I'm going to end up having to do. Utah Trikes makes a bracket. It's custom made machining, and it goes over the front here, making this area useless, and it's like 80 bucks, so I'm not going to go with that one. There is another one that looks kind of like this, but this is bent on the other side, and if I put that on here, it wouldn't work. The other one is made for the diamond frame bikes. So I'm a little disappointed as to what is available. If all I want to do is make the silly thing work, well, the easiest way, of course, is to do this. But then you got your wires coming out the front, wrapping around the motor, wrapping around down here. I really don't want that. Nor do I want them flopping over the top and going that way. I would actually like this thing to sit in the front like this, so that, number one, Luna is sitting the way it's supposed to be. This thing is getting maximum, see these little ridges here? That's to help keep the motor cool. They're getting maximum exposure to the forward wind from riding. That's the other reason. It's just something I personally prefer for my trike. So the torque bracket options are very, very limited, and if I had access to a machine shop, I could make my own, but I don't. So I'm just frustrated that, and having to sit here during this COVID-19 junk going on, waiting for my next payday, because COV has killed off my extra income making ability. I've got work that's done. I can't turn it in and get paid for it. It's a problem. Otherwise, I'd already have the parts that I needed to finish this thing, because I got enough work done that it would pay me enough to be able to buy the new chain and the extension cables and the things I need to finish this. So I'm stuck waiting until my next payday, which I get paid at the beginning of the month like every other retiree does. I got 2 weeks of waiting, and it's just, I don't know. Like I said on the group, this is going to be a wah video, me complaining. But that is the problem that I'm encountering with the torque arm, and why I'm so disappointed. You know, it's bad enough trikes are not given a lot of exposure except to the trike community, when the bike manufacturers build new stuff, they don't think about us. I guess we don't have enough percentage of the overall bicycling market yet. And oh well. You know, I just noticed something as I'm making this video. Look at these tires. I got this bike 2 years ago. I still got the little plastic knobby things, or the rubber knobby things on the side of the tires. I haven't even worn them off yet. The thing doesn't even have 100 miles on it yet. It's a 2017. Wow. Another reason why I want to get this build done, so I can get out and ride. Okay, enough of my whining. Howdy folks. Okay. Here we have the Utah Trike's torque bracket for the Bafang motor. And I wanted to show you guys this because you need to decide whether or not you're going to do something like this or not. Okay? So I'm going to move my camera around here. With this motor on your Rover, or I mean this torque bracket on, right here, you see there's a little bit of a gap right there. About an 1/8 inch gap. That'll allow your motor to spin a little bit. We're going to fix that eventually. The question is, do you want a torque bracket or not? If you get a torque bracket, it's going to replace this part right here. This is the part that slides on the end, or slides on your motor right here like this. Okay? And it's what kind of holds this whole thing together on your spindle bracket right here in the front. Now if you don't do this, this motor is going to come up here to the top, and your wiring down here below is going to be exposed right here in the front. I really do think that the motor should be down here at the bottom. It does create a clearance issue because it's hanging down, but I don't think that's going to be that much of a problem. When it comes to torque bars or torque brackets, I've only been able to find 3 of them. And the other 2 I've already discussed in a previous video, really are made for diamond frame bikes. This is the only one I've actually found that is actually made for a recumbent trike. And this one's made for a square frame, so if you've got a standard round tubular frame, you're going to want to get the other kind. They make another kind that fits the round tubular frames, but this one right here fits the square frames. And what it does is it's got this arm right here, and this arm comes up. There's these 2 screws that go into this block piece right here, and the block piece right here is what keeps it from moving. Now the nice thing about this, and I'm going to see if I can adjust this camera so I can zoom down in on it so you guys can see what I'm talking about here, is if you look very closely, there's a couple of things here. Number one, right here and right here. Those are your TerraTrike bottle. Yeah, now you can see it. There, right there, that one and that one, that's where your bottle cage. Well, no, I guess you can't see it on the camera here. I'd have to move the camera like this. But there, now you can, yeah, now you can see both of them. Okay, so you got this one right here. Okay. And then you got this one right here. I'm going to make a couple of spacers and put my bottle holder back up there. I'm hoping that I will be able to, as you can see, this is the bottle holder. Okay, that goes on goes on like this. This is what's going to be my bottle holder. I'm hoping that I'll be able to make a couple of spacers to even this out so it's nice. Okay, and then I'll have to get some longer screws of this thread. Alright, and then I'll be able to still have my bottle holder on the bike here. There's another thing, and again, due to lighting, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. In the front of the TerraTrike, right down there, see that little screw hole right there? Let's see if I can get the flashlight on it. Oh, great. Right there. That's where that little front reflector goes. I'm going to be able to put that on here too when I'm said and done. Cool, huh? Okay, I got to stop this because our noisy grass people are here today. Okay, I want to finish up this build. So, after I got my torque bracket on here, next thing I got to do, put this one on. This is the lockdown bracket. I don't know how important this is going to be, because when you get this, if you use this bracket to put your motor on, these screws down here are long, just long enough to get in here. These are the super long ones. This thing's on there tight. It's not coming off. This is now what's actually holding this whole thing together. This nut right here is actually kind of redundant at this point, because I don't see how I'm going to be able to get the special Luna wrench that I got to tighten this thing up on here. It barely fits. And this, of course, being the cover for it. Okay, and this only has to be on, you know, basically just a little bit snug. That's it, so it don't come loose. Okay, so this thing's pretty much ready to go from as far as mounting the motor goes. Next thing we're going to do is work on replacing the chain. So I'm going to reposition the bike so I can get a better view of it here, and then we'll go from there.